Hello, it's me. Oh, Jeremy Corbyn. Oh, Jeremy Corbyn. I remember when that was a chant of hope. When things for British politics were starting to look up. When many people across the UK on the left thought that British politics was finally gonna change. But that's not what happened. No. Something very bad happened. Something very cloak and dagger. A plot against one man that Shakespeare would have been proud to have written. It was so Machiavellian in its methods that, well, it took a principled politician's reputation and turned it into shit. And now, years later, a right-wing commentator, Tucker Carlson, yep, that Tucker Carlson, has come out in kind of defence of Jeremy Corbyn. Oh, it's not a tacit endorsement of his politics, but nonetheless, Tucker Carlson had a few words to say. And those words revolved around how Jeremy Corbyn was the victim of a targeted campaign to effectively cancel him out, to remove him from public life, to paint him not only as somebody who was a bit shifty, but somebody who was an out-and-out communist, who was an adherent to communist values as espoused by Marx and Stalin. Models that, as we now know, are abject failures. But it looks as though Tucker Carlson, after spending decades on, was it Fox News, has had the good sense to turn his back on the mainstream media and the temerity to speak out against it. And now Tucker Carlson has also been a victim of this targeted campaign to paint him as ridiculous, in much the same way that Corbyn was painted as ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't think Corbyn is ridiculous. You've got a right to your opinion. But I think your opinion and my opinion should be based in some kind of fact. And once you've appraised yourself of all the information that's available out there, if you still come to the conclusion that Corbyn is ridiculous, is in fact a blazing communist, then fine, you're entitled to that opinion. I might not entirely agree. But one thing's for sure, in politics, finding the one ingredient that is everything to everybody all of the time is a fool's errand. In politics, as a voter, there are compromises to be made. And where Corbyn is concerned, it's no different. And in the absence of any other evidence, political knee-jerk reactions against the man who the mainstream media have painted as a raving Stalinist are all too easy. Politics is, after all, a popularity contest. And if you can paint somebody as unpopular, if you can send that message out, you've all but written them off. This is something that Tucker Carlson knows a little something about. But the mere fact that Tucker Carlson is talking about Jeremy Corbyn in these terms says a lot about the world around us, a lot about where politics currently is. Tucker Carlson has understood fully now that the mainstream media has been captured by political forces, dark forces. Whenever you use the word dark forces in connection with politics, yep, you heard it here. It's tinfoil hat time. Yeah, tinfoil hat time again. You enter into the realm of conspiracy theory. And in this particular instance, the conspiracy theory, as far as Tucker Carlson is concerned, is the Israeli regime. And there is no doubt that Israel is a problem. But so is Britain. So is the US. You may think that Israel is at the centre of everything. And if they were, then there is a very legitimate argument to say that all the harm that they're creating, the political meddling that they've indulged in across the planet over the last 50 years in order to skew things in their favour, is in fact just the actions, or are in fact just the actions of a country who, after World War II, decided that it would do everything in its power to look out for its own interests. And if you're an Israeli or an ally of Israel who may be benefiting from these actions, then as far as you're concerned, this is all for the greater good. I, in all good conscience, can't look at these Israeli political shenanigans and say, if it wasn't Britain doing this for my interests, to raise us above everybody else, then would I really have a militant reaction against those actions? We as voters, as citizens, want some tacit illustration of how our governments are looking after us. And if you are like me here in the UK, you feel all but abandoned by this government. And whereas not everybody agrees with Netanyahu, the Israeli people must surely think that he's moving mountains to look after them, to look after Israel's interests. It's just that we, the rest of the world, might in actual fact be victims of those actions. As I said at the beginning of this video, politics is a compromise. And it seems to me that there are plenty of people here in British politics who have been. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do like, subscribe and share. It really would make a difference to the channel. And until next time, do look after yourselves.